to another installment of Apocalypse. It is Tau versus Imperial Guard, 5,000 points, and we are playing on the Fortress terrain, the Fortress of Tellemar. Imperial Guard are going to try and hold this position against a two-pronged attack from the Tau. The Tau will be attacking from two directions, two separate armies, try and overrun this Imperial Guard position and meet up in the middle. This position must be taken, and the Tau will seek to do that in this game. So at the edge of Imperial territory for this one, and it is an Imperial fortress on a scale that we have never seen before. Outside defences here, the boundary marked by the golden statue of the Space Marine, coming across the shallow river here. Outer perimeter defences, tank traps and Aegis defence lines, and then coming up a second line of defence, and then the bastion itself, a huge Imperial Guard bunker defence here with a central tower as well. Absolutely bristling with defences here. Coming down another side, descends into another river valley, and then the forest on the other side. It's going to be a two-way game, this one. Imperial Guard in the centre, and then two Tau armies will be attacking simultaneously to try and take this fortress, the Fortress of Tellemar. Tau will be attacking from both directions, and we'll try and meet up in the middle. Imperial Guard with a big advantage here. Very strong defence, this one, perhaps the strongest we've seen for the Imperial Guard. It's not much of a city, it's a pure fortress, this one, and good fields of fire. The Tau are going to have a tough one as they try and advance into this position, but the fortress must be taken at all costs, and the Tau are going to throw themselves into this and take on the Imperial Guard. And we've got to remember this time James has got the Titan ready to face the Tau in this game. Right, welcome to this 5,000 point game. It is Tau versus Imperial Guard, and we're just going to run through the Tau force here. Managed to muster a force of Tau together, and with Tau to spare, so we've not used all of the stuff, but it's a good sized army represented here. So it's the new 1850 point force, all of that is included in the army here, and then we've added some more units from my Tau collection. So the army commander is in. He's not in charge today, he'll just be one of the HQ choices. Two drones, cyclic iron blaster and a plasma rifle, iridium battlesuit as well to up save. Got a stealth team with a fusion blaster team leader and two drones. And then the two crisis teams here, the ones at the back, twin link fusion blasters, missile pods and gun drones, and then the second squad here, gun drones in there as well, fusion blasters and plasma rifles. XV-88 squad, 4 missile drones, twin link plasma rifles and heavy RAL rifles included there as well, and we've upgraded them, given them a couple of target locks as well, so they're able to fire at different targets. Unit of Pathfinders, and the no upgrades there at all. The Ethereal is in the force, and then Commander Shadow Sun with the 3 drones that she can take is in this force and will be commanding the entire Tau army here. 2 hammerheads with disruption pods. One of them is Long Strike. He is in the force, and it's preferred enemy Imperial Guard, so he should enjoy this game. 2 Fire Warrior squads in as well, no upgrades for them, just 12 men in each. The Riptide is in the force, twin linked fusion blaster and ion accelerator. 2 squads of the old XV-88s, smart missile systems and heavy twin link heavy rail rifles for those, and then 2 gun drones protecting each of them. And there's team leaders there for both of those squads. And then units of Kroot here, 4 units of 15, and then a load of hounds and shapers for each of those, and then Kroot riders, Krotox riders at the back, 2 there and 2 there, and then a 5th unit just of 10 Kroot as well, just making it 5 units of Kroot. So a vast amount of hungry Kroot in this force. Then Chasseur Rymir, it's one of the Forge World figures. 4 up invuln save from shooting, and then a 3 up invuln in close combat, and then an assault 2 plasma rifle for that commander there. Then a second in command, just a lower ranking HQ choice there, with the old cyclic iron blaster, plasma rifle, and 2 drones as protection. 2 more squads of V8 crisis suits, one's at the back there, missile pods and plasma rifles, 2 drones to protect them, and team leader in this squad as well, with burst cannons and plasma rifles and 2 drones to protect them. 2 more hammerheads with the rail guns and burst cannons, disruption pods, submunition. Vespid Sting Wings, 10 of them with Strain Leader. Interesting to use them. And then some mechanised tower here. 1, 2, 3 units of Fire Warriors, all with team leaders. And some of them we've split here. Some have got a mixture of pulse carbines and pulse rifles, and then all pulse rifles in this squad here. So 3 squads there, all in Devilfish, disruption pods for all of them, and then another Pathfinder squad and a Devilfish, just 4 of them, 1 team leader, and 3 of the rail rifles. So that's the force for the tower. Quite vast in size. Perhaps figure-wise we outnumber the guard, which is a surprise. But James holds a lot of super heavy stuff. So how will this tower army that doesn't have any super heavies deal with the mighty Imperial Guard units? We'll have to see. Don't think we're going to get absolutely beaten, but it's going to be a tough one. The tower, I've got to try and break into this fortress. We'll see how well they do. They're going to need all their cunning to do it. But exciting stuff. These 2 forces haven't clashed before in our Apocalypse games. These 2 armies are raring to go.
Right, this is my Imperial Guard army, 5,000 points. First of all, this is my Imperial Shield Infantry Company formation, which consists of 3 platoons. The first platoon, I have a platoon commander with close combat weapon, las pistol, a platoon banner, standard, a VOX caster, flamer, and a medic. And I have a commissar equipped with a power fist. I have 3 squads in the platoon, each equipped with a VOX caster and a grenade launcher. Second platoon, exactly the same with the squads, exactly the same with the equipment for the platoon command, and I have a commissar with just a bolt pistol and close combat weapon. Third platoon consists of the platoon commander equipped with a plasma pistol, and the commissar is equipped with a plasma pistol as well, and exactly the same equipment as with the rest of the squads.
It's good to see the flags back.
Yeah, we needed morale from the last game, so decided to bring in the banners again. So it gives them +1 combat resolution, if you want to know what the rules are. So
we said in the last game you didn't have enough heavy weapons squads, so you decided to go for more in this game.
Yes.
Good move. What do you got?
I have 1 heavy weapons squad of mortars, 1 heavy weapons squad of autocannons, 1 heavy weapons squad of missile launchers, 1 heavy weapons squad of las cannons, and 1 heavy weapons squad of heavy bolters.
1 of each?
1 of each, exactly.
Conscripts?
Conscripts, yes, they are 3 points each now, so I have a 90-point unit, and there's 30 of them, so there's 30 conscripts.
Okay.
So that's my infantry company. 5 ratlings with sniper rifles. I have a bonehead, Ogrins, 4 of them, at 170 points, each equipped with Ripper guns. I have a Lord Commissar, who's second in command, as the chain command special rules for the new Imperial Guard Codex, so he has to be second in command. And he is 65 points, and I've added 10 points for the power sword, so he's 75 points.
So he's in charge of the whole thing?
He's in command of the whole thing.
So it's his fault if the fortress falls?
Yes. If you want to know what the dice is, that's the Warlord trait. That represents, instead of command radius of 12 inches, it has a command radius of 18. I have a company banner, paid the points for. I have Vox caster, heavy flamer, and a medic for my company command, and I have a dedicated transport, which is the Chimera, as a command vehicle, so you can issue orders inside the Chimera.
Right, tanks. Everyone wants to know what tanks.
This time I have 6 Layman Russes. I have a squadron of 3 demolishers. One of the tanks is equipped with multi-melters, hull-mounted las cannon, and dozer blade. The second demolisher is equipped with sponson plasma cannons. And the third demolisher is equipped with sponson heavy bolters, exactly the same equipment with the las cannons and dozer blades. I have 3 regular Lehman Russ battle tanks, each equipped with sponson heavy bolters and hull-mounted las cannon and the battle cannon.
And the Macarius is back.
Macarius is back, yes. It's angry from last turn.
Last time, yeah, they've repaired it.
Repaired it in haste. So they are quite a rare tank, according to the fluff. So it is a lovely model. So
okay.
My favourites.
2 super heavies are back.
Yes, I have a Hellhammer this time. I've decided to go for that. It's proven quite effective in the last game. And this time I've gone for the Storm Sword.
What is that?
Yes. If you want to know what the rules are for this tank, it's Strength 10, AP 1, Apocalyptic Blast, ignores cover saves, and it's a primary weapon as well, which means it's 2d6 armor penetration, and you choose the best. I have 3 Hellhounds. One of the Hellhounds is equipped with a hull-mounted heavy flamer, and the other 2 are equipped with hull-mounted heavy bolters, and they're equipped with dozer blades and smoke launchers. Right, this is my Mars pattern Warhound Titan. It's equipped with the plasma blast cannon, plasma blast gun, which is situated on the right hand side of the Titan, and it's equipped with the Vulcan mega bolter on the left hand side of the Titan, and it's got 2 void shields, so it's designed to take a lot of firepower.
Right, a couple of apocalypse formations for the Tau here, just taking advantage of the book. Counter-Strike Cadre, that's these guys here. One Pathfinder team and 3 Fire Warrior squads. They're all mechanised inside the Devilfish there. So we'll bring them in from reserve and they'll fly on pretty quick. When they come on from reserve, they're going to count as fast vehicles. And when attacking an objective, they're going to get to reroll some hits there as well. So that's an effective one. I took advantage of that. So we'll be taking charge of those. And then a Kroot hunting pack, which have got in reserve 5 Kroot squads, which we've got. They'll get Furious Charge now in the game, and they'll all come on together when they outflanks. That's handy stuff. And then we've also gone for a rapid insertion force. And we've got the stealth team, have the Riptide, and then we've got a number of crisis teams that we can use. It just means that anything deploying within 18 of that stealth squad will not scatter. So we have a plan for them. And that's it for the Tau. So we're taking advantage of 3 of the formations, which will give us a couple little bonuses. Tactica really is how are we going to deal with the super heavies and the Titan. I think the plan that we may have is to try and ambush the Titan with the rapid insertion force. If we can somehow get close enough to deploy the crisis suits, surround the Titan and destroy it, and perhaps some of the super heavies as well, then there is every chance that the Tau could break into this position. It's a tough one. We don't think we can do it with long range firepower. 4 hammerheads won't be enough. We've got to assault this Imperial position, and I think the crisis teams will be critical. 2 of us today. It's myself playing and Will Marshall, and we'll be taking charge of the Tau. We're just going to split the force in half and attack. One of us is going to attack from each end, and then James and Ben Hayes are going to be playing with the Imperial Guard. There's 4 players today, and it splits nicely. 1 attacking at each end, and then 2 Imperial Guard players in the middle. So it's a nice balance, roughly 2,500 points each, and then we should be able to cope with that scale of a game. We'll have to see. But so Tau at the disadvantage, but there are a number of cunning plans that we have that might work, and with a little bit of cunning and subtlety, we may be able to break into this Imperial Guard position. So Will Marshall will be taking this end, and we're deploying his force just up to the edge of the valley here, coming across. He'll be facing against Ben. Ben will be holding this position here, and then James will be holding this position on the other side, and then my Tau force will start at the back here. A number of lines that the Tau are going to need to cross. So speed of vehicles and deep striking is going to be key for the Tau to make their progress. 6 objectives, random values, and they're all held by the Imperial Guard. 1 here that they've placed at this first barricade line. Coming across, there's an objective in the ruin here. There's another one just down at the base of the main bunker complex. And then Ben's placed one here on the edge of his perimeter. And then coming around the other side, a couple more objectives. One here in the secondary line, and then Ben has placed another one here. Now they're going to have random values, and we're only going to find out the value of these after deployment has been done, and the value of them will affect how the Tau and how the Imperial Guard are going to fight and position their troops. So interesting, Imperial Guard are going to have a broad defence here, and then adjust as the value of each of these objectives is revealed. Going to deployment now. Tau and Imperial Guard have rolled up. Tau are going first, so we're going to deploy first, and then we'll go first unless the Imperial Guard can steal the initiative. So on to deployment now for this epic clash. Right, so Tau deployed here. Will's put his 2 hammerheads out at the back, and then 1 squad of XV-88s just in the woods here, and then another squad over on the left hand side. It's quite empty for the Tau, with a lot of reserves coming on. Right, then deployment for the Tau at my end. Long strike is here. Nice commanding view for the hammerheads. Second Hammerhead number 2 is just there. And then 2 Fire Warrior squads of the Ethereal going to go on a suicide charge down into the Valley of Death. See if we can reach the Imperial Guard position. Their ultimate objective is way across here into this compound. Mission impossible, but it's worth a go. James just deploying here. You can see some of the super heavies being put out. Absolute domination of the battlefield, these tanks. Nightmare. James looks like he's put the Titan on as well. And then another super heavy for Ben. So everyone's splitting their forces nicely in the middle. So it's nicely balanced, this game. It's a good spread. There'll be action in every corner of the battlefield, which is nice. They're all going to be going on in the middle and then at both ends of the table. So it's working out really nice here. Carius Vanquisher in a beautiful spot just there. So Imperial Guard really thinking about where they're placing their stuff. Tau are intimidated. The offers of peace have been ignored. So the Tau are going to have to move in for the assault. Imperial Guard must hold this position. If it falls to the Tau, then the entire city could be in jeopardy. We're on the outskirts here of the Imperial city. Vast defensive network could be overrun. We'll have to see. The Vespids will be deep striking just on their own. Then his counter-strike cadre will be coming on from reserve. Could arrive first turn. And then the Kroot will be outflanking. They'll come on later. And then the Rapid Insertion Force. Big force, this one. Some critical rolls coming up really. We're going to see if these can arrive on turn 1 for the Tower. And then just for James's Imperial Guard over the other side, the Hellhounds are in reserve. They'll be coming on from one side or the other. And then the Ogrins as well. Right, so Imperial Guard have deployed now. They've sort of put the Titan here, and James has done that so that the rear armour isn't facing either side. He's worried about long-range firepower coming. It makes sense. And then he's got that ability to sit there and then to pivot and split his fire in either direction. So that's well placed there with the Titan. And then a super heavy here, looking out across the table. Very intimidating vehicles, these. And then one Demolisher in the middle, 2 Lehman Russes, and then some Guardsmen manning the barricades as well. Coming up into the main bunker complex, the heavy weapons squad's taking up position. It was a good idea, James, taking them. Missile squad here, las cannons behind the barrels over there. Regular infantry squad just in, or 2 infantry squads just manning the barricades here. Rattlings have taken up position right on the very top of the tower with a commanding view down. Mortars right in the bottom of the bunker there. No Gene Stealers this time, so they should be quite safe. Quite empty. Quite empty here. Just one squad of guardsmen. Just a very empty part of the battlefield. And then a Chimera just tucked behind. One Demolisher right at the very front of the defence. And then James's super heavy. One Storm Sword holding the centre. Very, very intimidating looking gun. And coming around the other side, Demolisher. Conscripts right in the middle there. And then Guardsmen holding on to the fire base. 2 Chimeras. And then a number of Guardsmen holding the ruins here. Another Chimera stuck in the middle. Autocannon squad on top. Macarius Vanquisher in the middle there with a good view. 1 Lehman Russ just there. Heavy bolters on the back of the bunker. And then the rest of the squads that we've seen. So Wheels Tower holding position here. Just a skeleton force really. But coming across, the Tower have deployed infiltrators. And with the special rules to Shadow Sun, she's joined the XV-88 squad here and infiltrated in with them. She'll grant them some cover bonuses. So good view here up the table for the Tower. Expect some nice long-range shooting in this game, which we're looking forward to. And then 2 squads ready to go. And now in support with them to join the attack is a stealth team and Pathfinder. So it looks like the Tau have selected this zone here to launch their attack. There is a plan that has been made and we'll see if it pulls off. So that is the deployment. It's done. We're going to roll now to see if the Imperial Guard can steal the initiative. If they roll a 6, then they're going to get to go first. There is no night fighting. This is a big roll. There's no night fighting, we've rolled. The tower wanted it, but we fouled the roll. James is going to roll up. If he gets a 6 here, then that is going to definitely have an impact on the direction of this game. A 1. So the tower keep the initiative. It's turn 1. Reserves can arrive in turn 1 for Apocalypse. So we'll see what's going to happen. It's all going to kick off on turn 1. Here we go. Going to roll up now to see if this force arrives. It does, and now we want to coordinate this attack with the rapid insertion force. We want to free up a 6. The tower plan is working so far. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the plan. The rapid insertion force comes down, and then the counter-strike force arrives simultaneously, and they'll be arriving on over here. This is the weaker side. There is the stealth team. Can deploy within 18 inches with no scatter. And try and neutralise these frontline targets, and then start a break into the city and blindside the rest of his force. Then tower forces over the other side can pin them down. That's the plan. It's worked out well so far. The reserve rolls have been made and they've been passed. Now the tower assault can finally begin. Tower turn 1, no movement here, just static forces just to pin down the Imperial Guard in this sector, but it's all gone on this flank here. The plan has been hatched. So the stealth team is here, and the rapid insertion force has arrived within 18 inches, swarming the Imperial Guard position here. So we're looking to take out this first line of defence, Riptide landing as well. And then the stealth teams move forwards, and the fire warriors have descended the hillside with the ethereal. And the counter-strike force has arrived in their devil fishes. Hammerhead just adjusting his position just to get a nice line of sight against the super heavy. And then Long Strike just adjusting his position to be able to fire all the way down that corridor at that Lehman Russ just in the distance there. So tower lining them up for some fire. We'll see what happens. But critical point here. How successful will this drop be? We shall have to see. Right, so tower shooting on turn 1. 2 hammerheads firing down. Will prioritised his fire on the super heavy here and did no damage. 1 miss and 1 failed to penetrate. XV-88 squads firing up at the Imperial Guard infantry. Almost wiped out this squad, just the sergeant left. And then over on the other side annihilated the guard squad there. So it gets first blood for the tower, so that's 1 point at least. So Imperial Guard infantry being taken out there, but no damage on the actual vehicles. It's not gone too well for the tower this turn. Then coming across, rapid insertion force. has landed, and we just about managed to destroy the demolisher with a bit of help from some hammerhead support coming in. And then only one hull point from this squad here, which is a real shame. But then glancing hits coming in from the XV-88s on the hillside, a good hit from Long Strike, and a supporting hit from the hammerhead here have knocked off a whole load of hull points on this super heavy. He's lost a total of 6, so it's almost, well, it's 2/3 destroyed. So that's good news for the tower. Would have been good to take it out. James and Ben confident that they're going to plaster this this tower force with a whole load of template weapons, so we're bracing ourselves for this impact that's going to come. Tower Fire Warriors, we've ran them now, they've gone down the hillside running off into the valley. The stealth team moving forwards. We've still got jetpack moves to do. It was Markerlite assistance helped out. 6 Markerlites helped neutralise cover for that super heavy, which is good. Counter-strike units have moved in. They'll be going flat out as well. We're just going to move them in a moment. And then firepower from here has helped support down in the valley. So Imperial Guard taking some hits, but not as impressive as we thought it would be. Imperial Guard still confident at this stage. We'll see what happens. We're just going to move into tower assault moves now. We've got some jetpacks to move about. Right, it's just a bit of assault moves from the tower. Just the jetpacks spreading themselves, anticipating large, nasty tempo weapons coming in, blast markers. So the stealth team's moved down into the river. That's good. Riptide's just moving into cover in the riverbed, and these guys moving up. Difficult one. It's going to be some nice, nasty firepower coming down here, and then coming across the tower, just holding their position there. We've rolled up for the objectives, by the way, and it is interesting. 3 points for this objective here, and 3 points for this objective here. So the quiet side of the battlefield is actually high value. So it's going to have an impact on the game. 4 points here for this objective. It's a critical one. So the force that we've moved in, if they can take it, then that's there'll be a nice amount of points that we can get for that one there. Coming around, and then the objective is just under the demolisher here, and that's worth 1 point. 2 points for the objective just in at the foot of the bunker here, and 2 points for this one here. So it's interesting. That objective over there is critical for the tower. If they can take that, that's a good amount of points. But they've somehow got to deny these two as well to the guard. If they can do that, then they'll do well. But the tower force has surged ahead here. Imperial Guard now aware of where the majority of the tower forces are going to be. Will they be able to hold off this assault? That's the danger from holding a position on both sides. You can be attacked at both sides at once, and it's hard to split your force. But we'll see how the Imperial Guard adjust. Turn 1 for the tower is finished. Imperial Guard turn 1 coming up now. Right, Imperial Guard turn 1 movement. It looks like Ben has hardly moved at all. One sergeant just moving to man the barricade by himself. And then, there's other squad over there taking that objective. It's going to be interesting because the objectives here in the middle, you've got long range tower firepower coming in, but we'll see if it even survives, because the Imperial Guard have got all this stuff to fire. Titan's shifted and swung around. It looks like, well, it's obvious it's going to go after the main threat. So intimidating presence on the battlefield, yes, that is definitely the case. The tower battlesuits brace themselves for the horrendous amount of firepower that's going to come in. The size of these template markers is making the tower cringe. And then he's backed off here with a super heavy. We'll see if it can survive. It's on 6 hull points. It's going to let off a volley. See what the tower can do as they brace themselves. And the conscripts have been given the order to fix bayonets and move out against the crisis team. So it looks like you're going to see Imperial Guard charge here. 30, well, not quite 30 because they've lost some casualties. But the conscripts with the commissar, it looks like they're going to charge in the centre of the field there.
And they're not going to run away.
So here we go. We're going to go into shooting now for the Imperial Guard. How much of this tower stuff will be left? We hate to think. Right, Imperial Guard shooting on turn 1, and firepower from the Guard as not as effective as we thought. Firing forwards, combined weaponry. Hammerheads have survived, but the XV-88 squad here has been wiped out, so they're gone. And then the Lone Sergeant's moved out across the table, no idea why. But that's just Ben being brave, and then, or foolhardy, one or the other. So, quite quiet here, and just an exchange of firepower going on. Guard having the advantage so far. But all the action really has taken place on the other side of the table. So the Titan firing down has dealt out with the Plasma Blast Cannon 2 wounds on the Riptide, fouled its in-bun saves. And then the Vulcan Mega Bolter fired across this squad here, killed Chasseur Rymir, so the commander on this side of the table is dead. And that squad's been knocked right down, just one drone and one crisis team there, and then firing from the Super Heavy and from the squad up here has reduced this squad down to just one team leader left, and he's on 1 wound. And then firepower from the Chimera, another scattered units up there, has reduced this squad down as well. Actually, it was a shot from this Super Heavy firing down, huge blast, almost wiped out this entire squad here. So nasty casualties, we expected them. Some tower units have survived here. Mortar fire coming in has reduced that Fire Warrior squad down by a few. No damage done on any of the hammerheads at the back here. I mean, one advantage that we've seen with that rapid insurgent force is it has absorbed the fire from the Guard, and it has diverted attention away from the tower positions at the back here. So hammerheads untouched, and the counter-strike force untouched as well. They're moving in for the Fire Warriors, and untouched at the back here. So advantage with the Imperial Guard, no doubt about that. But the tower survived. We'll see what happens. We're going to take a break after turn 1, so there'll be a unit returning for each force, and then the potential for the Kroot turning up as well. It'll be important where they arrive. So we're going to move on to assaults for the Imperial Guard. We'll just see if the conscripts will be able to charge into that lone crisis battle suit there. Right, so we're in the middle of combats here. The conscripts charge in, no Overwatch hits, and the Commissar has made it into combat. But in a turn of events here, James didn't want to challenge, but the crisis team leader did. So we challenged him, got 3 hits, got 3 wounds, and now the Commissar's got to roll to see if he even survives before he can use his Power Fist. A 5, a 5, and a 6. Oh dear. Right. So the Guard are happy with that, and now it's Power Fist attacks back. This is a psychological part of the game here.
Skill 4.
This is to assert the Guards. Oh, 2 5s and a 6.
6, AP 2, toughness.
4.
2's to kill.
It's 2's to kill. Oh, he's done it in style. Very, very good. So the Guard really feel their advantage here in this game. It's a lot of high fives around here. James feels good. The game's not over yet, but certainly the tower losing their grip on this game. The attack has faltered.
You've done your job now.
But still, they'll surge ahead and see if they can push up and break into this Imperial Guard position. So just on a scheduled break here, and the James has rolled up some dice. Imperial Shield gets some men back. So he's got 2 men back there, a couple of men there. The conscripts have regained some figures as well. So just topping up on their casualties there, and then the Tau are going to bring back one of the crisis teams. They'll be deep striking perhaps this turn. And then for the Imperial Guard, James is going to bring back a unit as well. Probably the destroyed demolisher over there is going to bring that one back on. So how will the Tau do? It's turn 2 coming up, and they've been hit hard. Imperial Guard have coped so far. They haven't lost their position, but we'll see. The Tau have still got units to come on, and the Kroot have yet to arrive as well. Right, so Tau turn 2, and it's looking lively again. The 2 hammerheads just holding their position, just giving that long range firepower down onto the Imperial Guard position, and the XV-88's holding their ground as well. And then the unit that we got back after the break, the Fire Knife XV-8 crisis suits, have landed precisely where we wanted them to, right onto the objective, and hopefully we'll be able to do some damage with those twin-linked fusion blasters on the super heavy there. So it's looking up on this side, potential here to do some good damage. Then coming across, it has things have moved on here. The last of the crisis suit here with the Iridium battlesuit commander there have just moved up behind the barricade. Jump 12 with the Riptide, not sure how long he's going to last. Vespids have turned up. We did want them to land just there, but they've scattered 10 and landed on the other side of the barricade. Stealth suits sneaked up just behind the burning tank here. Fire warriors moving down into the riverbed, so hopefully they'll get some cover and some protection. And then the insertion force flying up the table here, all 4 of them moving 12 inches, closing in. A lot of fire warriors there, ready to go. Hammerhead just shifted position, swung himself round with a view up to the super heavy, just eliminating any cover. Pathfinder's holding position, and then Long Strike just shifting over to the left again to get a clear view over to that super heavy. That's got to be eliminated. XV-88's holding position, and then the Kroot have arrived. They're rolled up. Well, they get to choose their flanks, so they decided to turn up here. So Imperial Guard line and position stretches in both directions, but somewhere along the line it's been breached by a pack of hunting Kroot, and they've now swung round as part of this plan here. So Kroot running all along the river here, all the way across, in through the woods, into the buildings, up through the road, and have also landed just here as well. So Kroot everywhere. That's going to be a headache for the Imperial Guard to deal with. The Tau momentum still continues, and still a strong force attacking this Imperial Guard position. So we thought the game had quietened down, and suddenly it's livened up again with all this stuff turning up from reserve. And then the battle suits here, just moved them up. We forgot to do that, and then the other battle suit just jumping up to the corner of the barricade there. So conscripts getting surrounded by different units. We'll see how effective the Tau can be with their shooting now, coming up on turn 2. Right, let's see if the crisis battle suits can do some damage to the side of this. Here we go. Force to hit. That's a good start. And then we just get a nice plumb 4. No. So we've got 2 hits. The first one penetrates. And the second one, ooh, lungs. No cover. So we've got one result here. A nice 5 or a 6 would be good. A 3, that becomes a 5. So just 2 hull points in total. So that's 2 points down. It's not bad. Not as effective as they could have been, but they've made some impact on the game. A little bit disappointed with the battle suits so far in the game. The actual main damage has been coming from the long-range firepower from these hammerheads, so we'll see how well they do. So 3 hull points left on the super heavy. Right, so hammerhead number 2 is going to fire at the storm sword. 3 up for a hit. There's no cover. 5's a hit. Strength 10. Bounce. Hammerhead 2 has failed. Right, now for long strike. 2 to hit. Ooh, he hits just about. Come on, long strike on a nice precision hit. Side armor, strength 3. It's failed. Tank Hunter. Failed again. Oh. Critical roll there. We only needed a 3 just to get a glance. Never mind. We'll see what else can do any damage. We're not panicking yet. Right, so Tau turn 2. Disappointing on this side from the hammerheads again. No damage dealt out. And bit of a disappointment here as well. These guys landed and managed to get 2 hull points. So some damage now on this super heavy. And then 2 hull points on the Liam Ross on the far side there from the Kroot. There's strength 4 weapons on the rear armour. Other than that, it's pretty quiet over here. Coming across, it's been a different story on this side of the table. Firepower from this squad here and from the Vespids has taken out a couple of the guardsmen here, and James has gone to ground behind the barricade there. Coming across, 1 unit of fire warriors ran down into the gully. The others stood, fired across. It was clear here. They fired across the conscripts. You can see they've lost a lot of casualties. We'll come around. Firepower coming in from the Kroot coming across, and firepower from the crisis teams has whittled down the conscripts there. Commissar's still alive, just about. And then the Devilfish have gone flat out. They're counting as fast vehicles in this scenario for the special formation that they have. So they've gone flat out, flying up and over the Imperial Guard barricades. The Tau are breaking into the Imperial Guard complex here. The intensity of this game is starting to pick up. Surviving with their cover saves from incoming Imperial Guard fire. So Imperial Guard fire has been directed towards that rapid insertion force, and because of that, it's meant that our Devilfish managed to move up without being touched. So the Tau are optimistic again. The game is far from over. We'll see how they do. With all this Kroot turning up as well, it's turning into a bit of a headache for the Imperial Guard. Some rapid fire coming out, lots of shots coming in. Firing across, Imperial Guards ain't been taken out here. But it's just the presence of the Kroot that is causing the headache for the Guard at the moment. And then there is 8 hull points now on the super heavy there. Not quite enough. We fired everything that we had at it, failed to do enough damage to take it out. So it lives for another turn. Hammerheads failed to do any damage again, so disappointing with them this turn, but they just sit at the back, not touched. So if they survive, they'll let out some fire again on the next turn. But that's Tau turn 2 almost finished. Just assault phase. There's no assaults going on, but we're just going to move our jetpack units around now. Right, so assault phase to the Tau. No charges, but some good rolls that we've made for our jetpack thrust moves. These guys have moved up, pushing in towards the Imperial Guard main bunker. Stealth team's moved up as well, and then the Riptide has burst in through the barricade as well, so it's good stuff. And then Will's Crisis teams have moved up behind the embankment as well. So we're happy with that. It's good. It's going well for the Tau, we reckon. They're still in with the fight here. We've breached the first line, and now the second line, and flanked. So the Guard have got a lot to deal with. Remember, they've still got those Hellhounds to turn up. So we'll see what happens. We're going to roll into Imperial Guard turn 2. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Imperial Guard turn 2, and the panic has set in. Hellhounds are turning up here. There's Imperial Guard tanks turning up all over the place. The Storm Swords swung around and trying to face off against the Kroot. Leman Russ has come flying in. It's tried to ram one of the Devilfish. It's chaos here as Tau forces move up and over the defences. These skimmers are ignoring all of the ground defences that Imperial Guard have. And there's a lot of manoeuvring going on inside the Imperial Guard encampment. Right, so Imperial Guard turn 2, and it's a real mix-up here. Imperial Guard trying to keep the area clear. It's difficult. Ogryns have turned up. Russ is continuing to keep their position forwards. Demolish has spun around its turret to try and deal with the Crisis team and the Leman Russ as well. So fire being diverted from the front line over to the inside of the Imperial Guard compound. Chimeras and infantry reacting to the Kroot threat that has appeared on this flank. Leman Russ has gone forwards. Storm Sword has spun around and is facing off against the Kroot and the Devilfish. Strange on why they've spun around to fire at that target. James is saying that there's only one whole point left. He might as well throw it in this direction. Demolish has reacted as well. So Tau positions on top here will probably not be touched at all. Then James is just thinking what to do with the Titan. 2 Hellhounds have turned up. Looks like they're after the Fire Warriors and the Vespids. But he's driven them right in amongst the Tau there, so there's potential there that if he doesn't clear the Tau threat, that those vehicles could be eliminated. Chimera's just shifted position. This infantry squad has moved along, taking up a defensive stance behind the sandbags here, and then the Titans just swung a little bit, and it's still going to bear its weapons down on the Tau in this direction. Another Hellhound's turned up here as well. That's it for Imperial Guard movement. We'll see what kind of shooting they can do, see what Tau can survive, and then the answer to that question will determine perhaps the rest of the game. If the Tau can weather this storm, then they could push their advantage and really break into this Imperial Guard position. We'll see what happens on Imperial Guard shooting on turn 2. Right, so Imperial Guard turn 2 shooting, and the Tau are still around. Right, so a lot of Tau stuff still left. They found to get rid of the Riptide and the Crisis team here. One drone was killed, infantry fire coming down, and then the Titan firing down. Disappointing round of fire. Tried targeting here with the plasma blast gun and has done no damage there, just a sort of a stun result on one of the Devilfish. And then the Vulcan Megabolter, disappointing again. He tried firing through to here, and the Tau passed their cover saves. So a lot of firepower from the Guard, but it hasn't been particularly effective this turn. Coming around, it's the Kroot that have taken the brunt of the firepower. Shooting coming across from here. The massive blast weapon coming through. Destroyed one of the Devilfish transports, and some of the Fire Warriors inside have been killed. They've got out just there. They haven't been pinned. And the other one's taken a hull point. And then the Kroot at the back taking a lot of casualties, but passing their morale. Half the unit here destroyed. Casualties here. Nearly the entire unit taken out at the back here. And then the 10-man Kroot squad has been wiped out by the Ogryns and Guardsmen just there. So Imperial Guard, Ben at his side, clearing out the Tau quite well. Not many left just here, but still a lot of Kroot left on this side of the table. And then coming around, a couple of drones have been taken off the XV-88s here. Hammerheads untouched again, so they'll be able to continue their firepower into the Imperial Guard position. And then the squad has moved up behind the woods there into cover, for whatever reason. And then Ben has failed to kill the Crisis team there. One drone has gone on a wound, but that squad still remains, so that Super Heavy's in trouble as well. So Tau are optimistic still. The attack generally is succeeding. Imperial Guard forces under fire and kept busy on this side of the table. and then a successful tower break-in on here. So we'll see if the tower can push the advantage forwards. If they can eliminate some key Imperial Guard units, then we could be looking at the tower establishing themselves inside the Imperial Guard compound. We'll have to see what happens. It's a key point in the game. That marks the end of turn 2. There's no assaults. So that's it. We're going to move on now to Tau turn 3. Interesting point in the game at this stage. On turn 3 again, the Hammerhead's just holding their position and looking to bring down that firepower. It's been entertaining, the exchange of firepower here, but both sides not really damaging each other. Crisis suits just tucking in against the side of the bunker there, just protecting themselves, and then able to offer the firepower into the super heavy. We'll see if they can do some damage this turn. Riptide's moved up and along. He's going to try and get into the Chimera there. The other Crisis squad with the Iridium Battlesuit Commander just tucking in along the bunker there, starting to cut some angles down here, offering themselves a bit of protection. Last two Vespids have jumped up and over. Devilfish troop carriers moving right up to the second line of defence. Fire Warriors manning the outside barricade here. Ethel just with them. Second squad moving down into the river. Pathfinder's holding position. Tau Hammerhead number 2 in position to fire on the super heavy on the other side, and then Long Strike just moving to fire as well. These guys holding position should have a shot over towards the Hellhound. Kroot moving up the river, a large hunting pack heading in that direction. Crisis suits just jumping up and over the barricades, looking to take out the last of the conscripts and the brave commissar that's with them. Kroot and the Krutox riders moving forwards. Fire Warriors starting to push into the Imperial bunker. Kroot starting to move in as well, looking to assault this squad on top. And then Kroot moving up on the inside here as well. So pretty much all tower units engaged here. It's a fierce fight going on, especially on this side of the river, or on this side of the defence. And we'll see how effective the tower could be if they're shooting on this turn 3. Again, another important turn. How many Imperial targets will fall this time? We'll have to see. Right, so Tau shooting on turn 3. It's been an effective turn. Happy with the results there. The Hammerheads firing down. Again, not much damage from them. They are a presence on the table, but they haven't really been effective this turn. But the Crisis suits sitting there have come fired across and dealt out 4 hull points. There's a lot of damage on that super heavy. Not many points left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points down. Untouched. Not a shot fired yet at the Titan. Just intimidated by the sort of void shields. It's pointless firing at it. It's just going to nullify shields. If we are going to try and take this thing out, it's going to need to be combined firepower. And we think perhaps that later in the game, when other important targets have been taken out, then the railguns from the hammerheads might combine their fire and see if we can take out the Titan. Riptide changed target, fired back, and took out the Hellhound. It's important that that was destroyed. And then the stealth team, and with some help from the commander here, firing down, managed to finish off this Hellhound as well. So that's good news for the tower. Those 2 vehicles were important to get rid of. We only rolled a 1 here for our movement of our run moves, so they're just going to stay where they are, and then these have moved up a few inches as well. So steady advance from the tower. They've still got a way to go before they can reach that objective. Yeah, and then Hammerhead number 2, better round of shooting this turn. Nice view down, fired at the super heavy, got its hit with some Markalite assistance, penetrated, got that hull point, and destroyed the Storm Sword. So effective there. The explosion went out from the centre of the tank. It just detonated where it was, didn't flip or turn over. A couple of casualties dealt out, but no damage at all really. It was centred there. Nice clean explosion. So that super heavy's gone. It's good news for the tower. Cheer erupts from the tower line and from the Kroot. Unit moving up through the woods here. The others advancing, looking to assault this tank. But Imperial Guard presence on the first line almost entirely eradicated, and the second line breached. Fire Warriors just firing across it at 1 hull point. That's about it. Then just surging forwards with the transports here, both landing on top of the bunker. So tower pushing in. We've got a couple of assaults coming up, and we'll see how well the tower do in combat as well on their turn 3. Right, tower turn 3 assaults. Just a jetpack move up on top of the building here for that crisis team. And then the Riptide, we rolled a 10, so he's in amongst the Titan. Now you think the Riptide's a big figure, and then you look up at the size of that thing. Kind of fades into obscurity. But doing all right. We've moved up there with the battle suits, just creeping along, just using the advantage of the cover there. Lost the combat with the Vespid. The last one's just run off. Imperial Guards, well, the Guardsmen there have just consolidated. Thrust move with the stealth team. They've moved up along the barricade as well. Not many Guardsmen left on this second level. Then thrust moves for these crisis suits, just moving up and along. And then coming around for combat, Krutox Riders trying to do damage to the Demolisher here, but failed. Just 1 hull point, didn't kill it. And then coming across here, the Guardsmen have been taken out here. They're no longer inside the Imperial Guard firebase. And then here, the Chimera has been destroyed by the Kroot as well, and the crew have got outside. That's James's army commander there, who could be in trouble, could be cut up by the crew. So pressure on the Guard. Tower pushing in, but again hard to call. If the Guard coordinate themselves well enough, they could push off the tower here and salvage the situation. So Imperial Guard turn 3 coming up, another critical turn. How will they react as the tower push home their advantage? So the Lord Commissar's in trouble.
No, he's not. He's not.
The Kroot are pushing in. We'll see if he survives. Ogren's on the move, moving into the town. It's quite a mess in here, but most of the Kroot have been taken out. Just a few left. The Guard can eliminate them, and this sector will be safe, and then they'll have to push in and try and push the Fire Warriors and the Kroot out of the bunker. But if the Tau infantry can get a foothold inside these bunkers, get that free up save, then they're going to be hard to push out. We'll see how well the Guard can do. Imperial Guard turn 3 movement. Just some dead vehicles here. Chimera's moved up and around, just pushing back into the 2nd level. Guardsmen holding their position there in front of the stealth suits. Guardsmen holding their position on the 3rd level here as well. Titan's just holding his position there as well. So Guard just bracing themselves at the moment. This Guard squad's moved back, looking to deal with the crisis suits that jumped up on top. Super Heavy's lurched forwards for some reason. Looks like he's let out the Hellhound, just managed to move around and has got a shot against the crisis teams as well. So that's the Guard done on this side. Quite straightforward, quite predictable at the moment. And then coming around here, the Demolisher's backed off, just looking to let off another shot here at this transport. And then in a surprise move, the governor of the Fortress of Tellemar, has decided to assault the Kroot on top of the fire base. The command squad led with a flying and rippling banner, and the commander himself and the Lord Commissar moving in to attack on top of the bunker here. So it'll be an interesting fight there. And then the other command squad looks like they've got out the Chimera, looking to take out the Kroot in the corridor here, just to clear the position of the tower, see if they can do it. And then the Ogrins moving up as well. So really it's just Guard holding their position, apart from this squad here, which has decided to continue advancing through the woods. Got no idea what they're planning to do. So shooting for the Imperial Guard on turn 3. Drones have gone 1 wound on one of them there, and then another crisis suit left. So that's half destroyed. And then coming across here, it's been eventful. A hammerhead's been taken out, blown to pieces, and then an XV-88 over the other side has been eliminated as well. So Ben's been more effective this turn with his shooting. And then that's counted as a mobilised result there on that hammerhead. So Tau taking casualties over here, Guard holding their positions. It's a bit of a success story. Dealt with the threats that have come in. Then coming around, last crisis suit here is gone, so the commander's on his own. And the Vulcan Mega Bolter destroy that crisis team. So it's getting thinned out. No damage again at the back. Tau haven't been touched at this end of the table. Kroot have gone here, disappeared and wiped out, and casualties taken with this Kroot unit. Kroot here, gone. They've been destroyed as well. So this area now is free of Tau. Just one charge for the Guard, and it's on top here. The drama is about to unfold. We'll see if James can make it. It needs about 4 or 5 inches. So Lord Commissar's charge again. So after the Fire Warriors here. And the Army Command, a bit of a risk, but they should be alright. It's only 6 Fire Warriors left. So the commander of the fortress is taking the situation into his own hands to try and push the tower back. So it's bravery shown here by the commander. Right, so the combat's been resolved. The Fire Warriors threw their photon grenades, denied the extra attack, and failed his test, so it's blind, but they've still prevailed. The Commissar challenged the team leader, was killed, and then busted morale, and were caught in the initiative, even with the initiative 1 from the blind effects. So commander's done it, it's pushed the Fire Warriors off. Kroot still remain, so there may be another combat to go on in Tau turn 4. But that marks the end of turn 3. We're going to go into another break here, so there will be a return of another unit for each side. So we're on a scheduled break here, and just before we start turn 4. And often it's at this time you can stand back, take a look at the battlefield, and see what needs to be done. It's at these kind of turns, turn 3, 4 and 5, where you're looking at objectives to see if you can actually win the game. And by our calculations, the Tau do have an advantage. They got first blood, which is a point, and then you get a point for every 3 hull points taken out of super heavies. So there's 2 victory points here, and then the other super heavy that was destroyed, another 3 there. So the Tau is sitting on 6 objective points. Then as far as what the Guard are holding, they're not holding this one here. They've got a 3-pointer just there, and then 2 other 2-pointers, so that puts them on 7, so almost level. But then it looks like the Guard should be able to take, it looks like the tower actually should be able to take this objective. Got troops coming in from the transports, and then fire warriors moving up. So the way the game stands, if the guard take this objective, then they'll win. If the tower take this objective, then they will win. That's how tight the game is. It's going to be a very close game, we're thinking, but if the tower can put the effort in and secure this area, then they may well be able to secure victory, despite all of the odds and the Imperial Guard still having a lot of firepower left on the table. This breach will be enough for them to win victory. Again, on the other hand, it's a 3-pointer here. If the Guard can take this with troops, there's no tower troops around, so it's all down to the Imperial Guard if they can get some infantry on that position there. And maybe the tower might be able to neutralise the Guard infantry from that area over there. So it's very hard to call, which is really good for this game. You want it to be close, which is what we've got here. Nice spread of a game. The tower have been whittled down, that's for sure, but they're not out the game yet. Tactically, perhaps they hold an edge, but we'll just have to see. So we're going to move on to tower turn 4. We've already rolled for a unit turning up. We've got one of the crisis teams back, and they've landed exactly where we wanted them to. So it's a good start as we move into the movement phase for turn 4 for the tower. Right, it's tower turn 4. Hammerhead's holding position, and then coming down, deep striking crisis teams landed behind the Russ here, and then the other squads leap down looking to take out either the Hellhound or the Super Heavy. We'll see how it goes. So there's potential here to do some damage. I hope that the tower can do it. Riptide's just moving in. He may well try and take on the Titan in combat. Whether that's a good idea, I'm not sure. Hammerhead swung round, bringing its guns to bear on the Guard moving up, and then out the back, the little Pathfinder squad's got out, just looking to fire some snapshots down into the mortars. The commander's jumped up and over. He'll try and take on the mortar teams as well. And then the Fire Warrior squad has got out and is looking to shoot the Guard there as well. So Tau breaking in, deploying some forces. Swung the Devilfish round so he can lend a bit of support to the Kroot as they charge in and try and take on the army commander there as well. So potential slay the warlord there for the Tau as well. Crisis suits, the last of them just moving up, trying to take out this last Guard unit and secure this objective. Stealth team moving out to take on this Chimera. And then the Fire Warriors roll a 6 for their move. They're moving through cover. And then the other Fire Squad moving through the gap to lay down some fire on here as well. And then the Ethereals granted the special ability where the Fire Warriors can fire an extra shot. Just holding position with the long range stuff here at the back. It's been good supporting fire that's been coming in from these hammerheads at this end of the table. Steady stuff. But they have been enhanced by the Pathfinders who have done a good job this game. And the XV-88's at the back here. They'll lend some support. Looking to fire at the side armour of the Demolisher here, the last remnants of the Guard in the first line of defence. Kroot just moving up. Fire Warriors disembark now from the transports. This really is the last throw of the dice for the tower. It's the final push ahead. Kroot moving in, and then there's no tower in this area. It's been eliminated. So it's a tower-free zone just here. See how well the tower do. They're lined up for a good shooting phase, but you just don't know. It may go well, or it may be a disaster. See what happens. So the Pathfinder squad's going to fire ahead, and they're going to mark-a-light the Demolisher tank there. 4s to hit. I tell you, they have been an impressive little unit this game. They've got themselves 8 mark-a-light hits on that Demolisher, so that should help us coordinate some firepower. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and fire the XV-88s first this time, and we'll expend 2 mark-a-light hits for cover, and then a further 2 mark-a-light hits to push up ballistic skills. Ballistic skill 5, 3 shots, don't get ones, double 1, re-roll, got it, so that was worth doing. Strength 8, side armor 13, got that penetrating hit. It's AP 1, it's already on 1 hull point, the 4 becomes a 6, so it's now been immobilized and a second hull point. That's pretty good shooting. So the missile drones aren't in range, just a few inches out. So an immobilizing hit there. I think we're going to have to fire one of these 2 hammerheads, either long strike, see what kind of view he's got. He's got a clear line of sight. Or hammerhead number 2, or he's lined up as well. I think we'll fire hammerhead number 2. So we'll expend 2 more marker light hits to reduce the cover, and then 2 more marker light hits to push up that ballistic skill. So 2's to hit, 6 is a hit, no cover, and a 1 failed. That target has got to go. We'll see if we can eliminate it with some more firepower. Will might elect to fire the crisis team in. It's crisis suit. It's burst cannon hits. It's 2 hits. And no, not quite enough. Plasma shots, yeah, 2 shots. It's got 1 hit. Good 5 or 6 would do it. No, armor 10. It's rear armor 11. And then a drone could do it. He's got 1 hit. He's going to get a reroll here. He's got the 2 hits. 6s would be good. He's got the 6. It's just very good, very, very good. So there's no cover there. It's just only a little bit of smoke in the way. There's no actual blockage for that shot coming through. So that is the end of the Demolisher. In the end, the last hull point was taken out by a humble gun drone, but it's done the job, and that's freed up long strike now. Just take a pot shot up the table. And we think we're going to fire up at that Lehman Russ. If you can see it, the shot's going to come in, fire up, and over and down into here. James is saying, get on with it. Here we go, long strike with the shot. 2's for a hit. He's got the hit. 4+ to do something. No, failed. Ah, yes, but he's Tank Hunter, we've remembered. We always remember that he's Tank Hunter 4, which is a glance. So that's, he's winged him again. Long strike never seems to blow much up, always seems to be a glancing hit that he gets, but it's a start. Right, turn 4 for the tower, and their shooting's been pretty effective. Quite happy, really. It's gone, and that was destroyed by the fusion blaster attack in the rear from the crisis suits. So these reserves, or recycled units that have been coming on, have been doing well. It's been an asset for the tower. So that super heavy's gone. That's another unit taken out and another victory point, so that's good. And then the unit that landed here let rip, and it's 2 hull points, and stunned or shaken, won't be able to shoot, and then a weapon destroyed. The left-hand sponsor's gone. So little tower presence here is causing trouble. Hammerhead firing across, got the penetrating hit immobilised, and a hull point on the Hellhound here. And then the XV-88 is irritated by the 5-man guard unit moving up, fired the smart missile systems and wiped them out. It's just a bit of a good display of technology there. And coming across ripple fire, we took a risk, only 1 wound, but we passed on a 3+. Used the ripple fire special ability, fired the twin link fusion blaster twice, hit twice, penetrated twice, and it brought down 2 of the void shields, which is quite significant on the Titan there. So James has got to try and recharge those on a 5+ each turn. Then the Pathfinder's firing down, no damage, but in style, the commander fired down with his cyclic iron blaster and plasma rifle, and has wiped out the mortars. Mortars just at the bottom there. It's good going. This fire warrior squad firing across has killed some of the guardsmen there, and then fire coming up from this crisis suit killed a couple of guardsmen, and then volleys from the fire warriors. Loads of hits, loads of saves, but James passed them all. But a successful hit from the fusion blaster on the stealth team there has destroyed the Chimera, and then James's command squad has got out. So Tau doing some damage, no doubt about that. Then we saw the shooting earlier on, eventually managed to destroy the Demolisher there. So Imperial Guard presence in the front line has been eliminated, and the tower well and truly pushing into the second line. Recruit here, just in position. So that's it for the tower. We do have a few assaults to get on with. Riptide is going to attempt to charge into the Titan. Will it be able to do any damage? It's on 1 wound. So it's final act. Final heroic act. So they get the stomp attack, but will the Riptide be able to do any damage as it goes in? We will have to see. Right, thrust move's done for the tower here, just spreading out with the squads. So there's fire potential down here. There's a little enclave for the tower. Just the assault move going in. Riptide's made it in and survived the overwatch coming in. Thrust move, 7 inches, have disappeared into here with the stealth suits. They've actually performed well this game. Pretty surprised at how well they've done. They fouled with the assault with this guy, and then this one's moved up 6 inches. Commander has jumped down and got himself out of trouble. And then coming around, another assault has taken place. Recruit just moving up 2 inches here. Fire Warriors moving on into the bunker. And then the Recruit have survived Overwatch and gone in, charged into James's commander. So that's good going. The tower, really, we couldn't have asked for more from them. They have done well. And we'll see how well they can do in these combats here. 2 key combats, actually. We'll see what happens. Right, so 1 attack we've worked out for smash attack now. So 4+, no. So we managed to say goodbye to the Riptide here. It was a shame. He was the only one to shoot at the Titan so far. But we'll see if he can survive. It's been hit 3 times here by the stomp attack. Is it D? Not even an in-bun. Oh, the Riptide's been squashed. It's rare that you'd see that. A Riptide's a big model, but it's been stamped on by something that's bigger. I don't even get an in-bun save for it, so that shows the scale of the size of this thing. So goodbye Riptide, he's done well, but that's that combat resolved. We'll see if the tower can do better on the other side. The Kroot have made it in with the army commander. See if James can defend himself. He could lose his army commander here, which would be humiliating for him. Just in the middle of the combat here, 2 Kroot have been, well, 1 Kroot Hound and 1 Kroot have been brought down. That's all their attacks done, so it's 2-0 at the moment. Krootox attacks are going in. Will's going to roll up. So we're on 4s, you've got 2. And then it's a cock dice. 2 saves. He's taken 2 wounds. He's instant dev. He's been smashed. He's been stamped by a Krootox rider. The Lord Commissar's been brought down. That's good. So the Kroot have won. The Lord Commissar's been brought down. It's the Krootox riders that did it. And then one of the other guys, and the Vox caster guy, is gone. So it's just the army commander left. We're going to have to do a morale check here. So he's passed morale, he's got a 7. His leadership 9 -2. So the Kroot will close in. The commander of this position is now in trouble. Kroot have closed in on him. The hunting pack has found a target, and it's none other than the commander himself. So he's on his own, and there's not really any units. Well, no, he could be rescued. Look, there's a command unit here led by a commissar, so there may be a rescue mission that needs to take place. It's going to be tough, but that marks the end of Tau turn 4. The Riptide's gone. The Titan is freed up to continue fighting. Tau have made significant progress here, but is it enough? We'll have to find out now as turn 4 for the Imperial Guard comes up. Turn 4 for the Imperial Guard. Just looking to deal with the isolated tower units that are left. Hellhound's stuck. And then James is just spinning some units around. Looks like a Russ at the very top there is looking down, trying to take out these battle suits. Then coming across from reserve, he did say they're allowed to bring another unit on. The Storm Sword has come on, a second one. They brought it back on. Infantry squad trying to move round the Devilfish there just to take on the tower. And then holding position here with these two units that have gone to ground. And coming across, the army commander's stuck in combat. But as we predicted, the other command squad's coming up to try and rescue them. So there's a rescue mission going on here. It's desperate stuff. The commander of the position may be killed. Guard just consolidating themselves on this objective here and on this one here. So they should be able to secure at least half the objectives. And then the critical ones will decide how this game turns out. But that's the movement for the Guard, not too much, just a case of standing their ground and firing. And if the Tau take a lot of casualties this turn, there's not going to be too much left as far as units inside the compound is concerned. But we'll see what happens. Let's go on to shooting now for Imperial Guard on turn 4. Right, so Imperial Guard shooting, just a wound over there on one of the XV-88s, then coming across, firepower coming down to reduce that squad. And then James did elect to fire the Vulcan Mega Bolter down and wiped out the twin-linked fusion blaster squad there. It's a shame, they did well that squad. They killed a lot of points worth of stuff, but they've been eliminated now. So Guard causing some casualties here, firing up and across. The Hammerhead survived here. Some Fire Warriors lost from heavy bolter fire from the bunker here. And then these Guardsmen firing in a grenade and firing a grenade launcher as well. Did some damage. These squads just stayed where they are. Fire Warrior squad's been eliminated by the super heavy. James rolled got all the hits, but got a 1 there, so the Ethereal survived, thankfully. Coming around, no damage here at the back. Again, the Imperial Guard not targeting the tower positions at the back here. Then coming across, the plasma blast gun firing down has killed some Kroot and a few of the Fire Warriors, but didn't fail to destroy the vehicle. We've rolled a successful Jink save there. So,
And the other guys.
more casualties coming in, not too bad, but when you're low on figures, it does make a difference. So the tower feeling each casualty as it comes down. A couple of charges to do and an assault to continue. Will the commander of this base survive as the Kroot close in? Right, so assault's here for the Guard. He successfully managed to charge him with the extra squad, so the rescue mission is underway. And then over the other side on the bunker there, the Guard squad has made it in. But on the other side, we'll just go around and show you. The Guard tried to charge in to catch that Pathfinder squad just here. This squad tried to scoot round and charge these, and they have failed. So the Pathfinder squad has survived there. So a couple of combats to do. We've got Overwatch as well. And we'll see if the tower can beat off this Guard assault on top of the bunker. Right, so Imperial Guard combat there on turn 4. It's gone well for the tower. Fire Warriors beat the Imperial Guard and chased them down, almost wiped them out. But the Guard have managed to escape running along this way, and then the tower consolidated 3 inches. It's a good result there, but an even better result around the other side. The commander of the Fortress of Tellemar has been slain. Krutox riders brought him down. Instant death with their strength 6. And then in a twist of events, the command squad coming up, the second in command took over, but they busted morale, they lost the combat, and then the commissar promptly executed the officer with his pistol. That combat continues thanks to the commissar being there. Kroot moving in, and it's a fight right on top of the fire base here between Kroot and Imperial Guard command party. So it's been a Hollywood-style fight going on top there. It's a real spectacle. Everyone can see what's going on. Krutox riders, quite impressive in this game. So that marks the end of turn 4 for Imperial Guard. So it is now Tau turn 5. Could be the last turn of the game. We'll see how well the Tau do. The last remnants of the Tau force just trying to establish themselves inside there. And then still the supporting fire coming in from the hillsides. We'll see what the Tau can do on this next turn coming up. So it's been good with the Titan. He's done well. He's regenerated one of the void shields, and we're sort of happy that it survived. I don't want James to put all that effort in and then it to be blown up in a couple of turns. It has dominated. Not sure about his firepower configuration there, but it's done all right. The Vulcan Mega Bolt has actually been handy at bringing down the Crisis battle suits. Just been hosing down different units each turn. So it's dominated, yes it has, and it's dealt out some nasty firepower, and it gives the impression here that the Tau probably not going to be able to substantiate their hold on this fortress, but they may be able to knock up enough of victory points to count as a minor victory. We'll have to see. Critical turn now. Right, Tau turn 5. Crisis suits are backed off. They're hanging around the mobilised Russ there, and they're banking on the fact that he won't be able to shoot at them with his own target in the way. Kind of a risk there. They're contesting the objective, holding the objective there, and there's not too many Imperial Guard troops around, so that one we're not sure about. Might be enough to hold that. Then coming across, the Tau commander's jumped up and out from the bunker, and he's going to assault this 10-man squad. It's done well. The Iridium battle suit is a good one to include with the Tau. Pathfinders have just pivoted, and they'll fire across. Got the strength 6 weapons there. Fire Warrior squad here, moving down. Devilfish is backed off and will be able to fire its burst cannons forwards. Down here, the stealth Crisis suit is just going to sit there, fire the fusion blaster at the super heavy. One Vespid on his own, going to try and take on this squad. Fire Warriors moving up, and they've been joined by the Ethereal. 2 Crisis squads there, one Crisis squad, and then the commander. They're together, and they are heading off to try and finish off this unit here. And then coming across, the Hammerhead number 2 shifted out to the left with a clear view either to the Titan or the Super Heavy. And then Longstrike himself with a clear view up to the Lehman Russ. Pathfinder's holding position, XV-88's holding position. Kroot moving across to take this objective. Fire Warriors moving through the cover here to shoot at the Imperial Guard holding this objective, and then the melee continues on top. So a lot of stuff going on. So we're just finishing up on the last of the Tau shooting here. Hammerhead's not very significant, but we managed to get, again, Pathfinder's done a good job, 2 marker light hits through to the squad that was here. So we used that to eradicate his cover save from behind the Aegis defence line. And a horrendous amount of firepower came through from this squad with the enhancement from the Ethereal, and has wiped out that command squad. That's good news. Then firepower from the Vespid and firepower from the one of the lower rank commanders destroyed the squad that was here. And then firepower from this squad got through to the guard squad here, but James has gone to ground and passed his cover saves. And then firepower coming through from the Devilfish and from the Pathfinder. Then more hits coming in from the XV-88s over the other side. Killed 2 of the missile teams, and the other one fouled its morale and has disappeared into the bunker. And then the commanders killed a whole load of infantry here. James fouled 5 cover saves. So that's pretty good going from the Tau. Just little bits of stuff going on. Titan's untouched. And then coming across, the Hellhound has been destroyed. So a fair amount of casualties for the Guard. You can't say that they've come off lightly here. And tactically speaking, the Tau have got the edge. The Guard have got a chance on turn 5 to make a difference. That melee continues, and there looks like there may be a couple of other assaults as well. So you've got continuing melee there. Will and Ben are just resolving that at the moment. And then up here, thrust moves coming in. So a number of Tau units have clustered around the objective here. So it's going to be tight, this one. Fire Warriors charging in over here, and the commander's made it into combat as well. So we're going to resolve some Overwatch and then see how successful these combats are. Right, so that is the end of Tau assault phase. Gone well. Fire Warriors charging in, destroyed the guard squad there. Commander destroyed the guard squad there, and he's jumped down. These guys have moved along. And just some thrust moves clustering around the objective there. And then over on top of the bunker. So James's squad has actually held and beat the Kroot there, but the Krotoks have passed morale. So that melee continues on again as we go in now to Imperial Guard turn 5. So movement for the Guard on turn 5. Imperial Guard tanks surging ahead, securing the objective over there, so it's a mission success. On this side, not much guard left. One less cannon team, and that's about it. Failed morale there. With the missile squad, they've fallen back deeper into the bunker. And then James didn't regain the void shield, he just shuffled a bit with the Titan. It's just sat there and let out fire each turn, it's done well. And then coming around the corner here, the super heavy, just trying to get an angle on the objective. It's 45 degrees, we said that he hasn't, so he's not going to be able to hit these units here. But in desperation, he may elect to shoot at the Vespid, hoping that the explosion will catch the rest of the force, but it's a risk to himself. Desperate time because the tower are holding that 4-point objective there. Recruit holding this one. So tactically, the tower have the edge at the moment. The Russ hasn't moved. They're securing the objective on top of the building. Ogren's moving up, and then here's the Imperial Guard surging ahead, chasing after the tower units on this side of the table. So Imperial Guard shooting coming up on turn 5. Right, Imperial Guard shooting on turn 5. It's a nail-biter here. Dear oh dear. He's tried running down with the laser cannon team, hasn't made it to the objective. There was a crisis suit team here. Firepower from here has knocked it down. And then there was one left. James had to fire the Vulcan Mega Bolter and destroyed it. So there's now nothing on that objective. So 3 points lost there for the tower. But it diverted firepower away from here. Significantly, James fired down. The shot scattered to here and killed the Vespid, killed the last stealth team member, and then killed the lower ranking commander from the crisis team. They bust morale. 3d6 have run off in this direction. One fire warrior that consolidated from the previous combat is within 3 inches. The tower are holding it. James fired everything he had, but has failed to destroy that squad, and they count as holding that position. Coming around the other side here, James fired a plasma blast gun all the way over here. 2 drones destroyed. And coming out and across, not too much damage done in this direction. So just one XV-88 left in the woods there from this Imperial Guard surge ahead, but that is it. If shooting is done, there's no charges, we just have the remaining combat here. What a way to finish. The Defiant Commissar against the Krotox Riders. We'll get this resolved. So that's the end of the combat there. The Guard have won. They beat the Krotox Riders, and they now stand defiant on top of the firebase there. It's a nice way to finish for the Guard. Is it enough? We're out of time here, so both sides have agreed that we'll stop at turn 5. Both sides happy to do that. It has been a slog. We had lots of elements in this game. Really enjoyed it. We had long-range firepower exchanges going on. You've got all the defences built up here. You've had the towers sweeping in with their attack. So it's been a fascinating game. Action on every part of the table. You've got super heavies and titans on the table. The tower have given a good account of themselves, but is it enough? We have to calculate points here. Right, so in a twist of events here, playing by Apocalypse, we only get 1 point for super heavies destroyed. So significant there for the Guard, controversial. Is it enough for the tower? So the way we've calculated it out here is the tower have got a point for line breaker. They've broken in, so they get a point for that. Also get a point for Slay the Warlord, the commander. The Fortress of Tellemar was killed. And then First Blood as well went to the tower. So significant 3 points there. Then 2 points for killing the 2 super heavies. You still knock up a point each. And then for holding objectives, the tower hold a 1 point objective down here with the Kroot. And then coming around the other side, just about managed with a lone fire warrior to hold this objective here, just about within 3 inches. So that one counts as held, so that's 5. So that gives the tower a total of 10 points. Then for the Imperial Guard, no line breaker, no Slay the Warlord. Shadow Sun survived comfortably at the back here. Then just for objectives that were held, they held a fair few. Number 2 objective here, another number 2 objective there, and then Ben successfully held the 3 point objective there. So that is a total of 7. So 10-7 the final score. So it's a Tau victory, not an overwhelming victory by any means. We would say a tactical victory for the Tau. Just that the fact they breached in so far and caused the casualties on the super heavies was enough to get the Tau victory in this game.